so this afternoon we are finishing up planting some flowers. You can see me planting some of my other pots of the flowers that we purchased in some other videos and shorts on my channel. This is almost our last stop, which is our wishing well. Right here, this is where our well is underneath, and we built this wishing well over top of it for safety purposes and because it's fun to plant flowers and decorate it in the summer and the fall. So we're just putting some new dirt here on it. We put new dirt on top of all the pots and everything every year because it always seems to go lower, and also the flowers need new dirt, you know. So we're just kind of spreading out this dirt here and pushing it forward like so. And it's gonna definitely take the whole bag. This is a big wishing well. The top of it, you can tell. I mean, it's a pretty big area. You wouldn't really think it is, but it sure is a big area. So that's why it's so fun to be able to plant all the flowers, and then in the fall time, we decorate it with fall flowers, sometimes fall flowers, or the flowers are still good from what we planted in the summer, and then we just decorate it with like corn stalks and pumpkins and fall stuff, because that's really my favorite time of the year is fall and decorating with that. So that's what we like to do here. But okay, so look how nice, so you just want to smooth over all the new dirt. What I did, you can see me on a short, I think it will be, but I just took like a little hand rake kind of thing, or a hand hoe thing, and I just kind of loosened up all the old dirt under it. So now this is all loose dirt, so the flowers and the roots can really spread and really do good, because you don't want to plant it into just compacted dirt. It will have a hard time growing. You need it to be loose soil, right? So, okay, so now I'm gonna go pick out some flowers, and then I have a fun thing to talk about with the flowers. So let's go get the flowers. So this is as many flowers as I have left in this cart. You can come over here and you can see it. I kind of bought a lot of flowers. So we were just saying, I think that we're gonna have extras. So I think I have some more pots in the greenhouse that we're gonna have to fill in after we do this. So look how many I have left. There's a lot left. So we're gonna look for ones that kind of like part shade, part sun, because of course this is the wishing well, there is shade. So part sun or part shade are the flowers I'm looking for, okay? So this is shade, part shade. Now I think I could probably put a couple in that like sun, because it is gonna get some sun. This says shade, so I'm just gonna put some. We'll come back and we'll plant them here in a minute, but we're just gonna kind of put them where we think they're going to go. And I will start talking to you about what I was gonna talk to you about. So you wanna know, today on my daily devotional, what I read was how wonderfully great our God is. Think about that. I mean, if you look, just look every day, no matter where you live and no matter where you are, you can look out your window or out your door or wherever you may be, and you can see the works of God and how wonderful He is. If you live somewhere where there's mountains, think about those mountains. He made those. He made those mountains. I mean, look how big and strong and powerful they are. I mean, and it says in the Bible that He weighs those. He weighs them with His hands, and He balances the hills. And so that is just amazing how wonderful He is. And all the different colors. Look at all the different colors just in my cart, right? But if you look, I mean, look around. You look around right now with me. Look. I mean, it's just amazing. All of the things that He created. It's just amazing. I mean, He knows, you know, He's so wise and so wonderful. We can't comprehend it. Our human minds cannot comprehend that. But He can. And He can, you know, He's amazing. And we're so thankful. I'm so thankful. I mean, He wanted us to be able to have such great things to look at when we were here on this earth. He didn't want us to get bored. He didn't want us to look at just all one thing. Think of all the different things He created. Your rocks, your mountains, your valleys, your hills, plants, bushes, flowers, trees. the water, all the waters, me and you. He made us all different as well, right? His creation is humans. Of course, all the animals, all the bugs, all the fish, all the birds in the sky, right? So he wanted us to definitely be busy. He wanted to give us something to do when we were here, of course. You know, of course, that's back to the very beginning with Adam and Eve. I mean, he gave, you know, he gave Adam the job of taking care of all of this, right? And of course, Eve, his wife, helped him. But so that was really, you know, his plan was from the beginning to just let us enjoy all this stuff. And of course, nowadays, yes, we have to work at it, but one day it's going to be, you know, we're going to be able to enjoy it even better than what we can enjoy it today, which we enjoy it a lot today. So I can't even imagine what it'll be like later on, for sure, and how amazing it's going to be. But he is just really amazing. And think about all the stars. You know, he knows how many stars are in the sky and in the universe. And I mean, and think about that. Not even a human knows how many stars are in the sky. So he knows that, though, because he put them there. So he's amazing. So give me a minute and let me kind of rearrange this, and I'll be right back. All right, so I think that we put enough flowers up here for sure. Now I'm going to start planting them. But also what was in my devotional today was, you know how people could never measure, like in your hand, how much water, you know, there is to measure the water. And so, you know, when you were little and you would go to get a cup of water out of a stream or a creek or just out of a well or whatever, you know, you could never get enough. But his hand, he can measure that water in his hand. That's how big and wonderful his hand and how great his hand is. Also, if you take your hand and if you spread it as wide as you can, from this finger, your little finger, to your thumb is a span. That's what they call a span. And he can measure the heaven with his hand, with a span, with his hand. We never could do that, but he can do that. He is wonderful, and he is mighty, and he is just magnificent. And he's the only one that could do that. We never could, like I said, could even imagine what that would even be like. But I think that that's just, it's his majesty. I mean, he's majestic, and he's just wonderful. There's not one bad thing about him or from him ever. Only good. He's only good. And all of his plans are good, and they're really encouraging to know that he has a plan for all of us. Every one of us. Every one of us. He has a plan for your life. And sometimes you just have to listen to him. You have to get quiet and let him talk to you, to tell you the wonderful plan he has for your life. And like I was talking to my kids earlier today too. We were talking about this after our devotional. And, you know, he knows, I told the kids this, and he knows how many strands of hair are on everybody's head. Do you know that? Everybody's. It does not matter. Every single person in this world, he knows and knew if they are no longer on the world or on the earth, if they have passed away. But he knew and knows every amount of every hair that we have. The kids thought that was amazing. So they asked me, well, how much, Mommy? And I said, well, one day you'll have to ask God, and you can ask him one day when he comes back for us, and we can talk to him face to face. He will tell us what he knows and how much. And the kids would have thought that was really amazing. They can't wait to ask him how many strands of hair are on their head or on all of our heads. So it's just really amazing. It's wonderful to think about that and to talk about how glorious God is and how gracious he is and how loving and all of his mighty, mighty, mighty power. And it's just, he loves when we think about it and we talk about it. He loves when we share it with others and to just kind of meditate on it and pray about it. He just loves that. That brings him glory. That's why he created us, was to glorify him. And so when we're doing that, it makes him smile. I believe that. It makes him smile. Especially when you talk about it with your kids, you know, the next generation, or your grandkids, or whomever you talk to, or whoever you have influence over. You know, those are great conversations, right? Those are never wasted conversations. Those conversations always, even if you don't see it, if you don't see the impact right away, or you think that there's not an impact you had, if it's about God and his kingdom and his marvelous works, there is going to be an impact one day, for sure. That's for sure. I believe that. He tells us that in the Bible a whole bunch of times. A whole bunch of times he tells us that. So he's amazing. And I love to be able to talk about him, to magnify him, and to bring him glory. And I love to just thank him. I mean, the best way to thank him is to serve him and to talk about him, right? To spread the word. Spread the gospel like Jesus asked all of his disciples and all of us who are his children. He said, please, right? Or actually, he didn't even say please, really. He commanded it. He said, go and tell all the world about God's love and about the gospel. So that is definitely our responsibility, without a doubt, to whomever you have influence over or with. And it can be anywhere, and it can just be a simple, you know, you don't have to, the more that you read your Bible and the more that you pray, and, you know, he will get, and ask him, it says in the Bible too, you know, ask him for wisdom, and he gives it freely to anybody who is sincere in their heart. And he will give you that wisdom, and then you can use that wisdom, and that's how you share the gospel and how you share his love. So you don't have to do it alone. You never have to do it alone. He doesn't want that. He doesn't expect that at all. He's there to help and to tell you what to say, how to say it. And the more that you read the Bible and learn about it, then of course the more that you know, and ask him, and he'll tell you. And it's amazing, like just me personally, you know, throughout my walk with God, I have learned and I understand so much more every day as I read his word and pray and ask him. You know, he reveals things to me more, and I think back, you know, however long ago, and I didn't ever realize things that way, you know, in his perspective. And if you get his perspective, that's the perspective that you want. And it makes everything in your life, you see it differently. That's a fact. There's no, you know, that is just what it is. You get his perspective and everything clears up. I've told that to my husband many times, that now that I'm getting God's perspective in most things, and God gives that to me, when I look at things, I can understand them. I mean, of course, not to God's ability. We never will do that, but we don't need to. He doesn't expect that. But I understand a little bit more. You know, it brings you his kind of peace, his kind of joy. That means, you know, guess what? It's all going to work out. There's no need to worry about stuff. Not at all. You don't need to worry. You don't need to even don't even waste the time of worrying about stuff, because he already has it under control. And he's in control. We're not. We're not in control at all. And I'm glad about that, because think about having to be in control of stuff. It could be stressful. But we don't have to have that type of stress, and he doesn't want us to. You know, it says in the Bible too, you know, we're not meant to carry these burdens alone at all. We were not. He's there. And he's there always. So if we feel burdened about something, we just have to go to him, and he will help us carry. He will help us carry that burden. And that's another reason to be so thankful. Every day that you wake up, you have a lot to be thankful for. Just for the mere fact that you woke up. That's why in the morning, every time when I wake up in the morning, even before I get out of bed, my first thing is thank you, Jesus. Thank you for another day. Like, no matter what is going to happen that day, because there's stuff, I mean, yeah, you know, we have plans. We try to plan our day, but for the most part, our day rarely would go really exactly as people plan it, right? Because we're not in control. So that's why we have to just be thankful for what God has blessed us with, and then we just kind of roll with it, right? We just have to be thankful. If it doesn't work out exactly like we thought, well, that's okay. Just go, just keep doing what needs to be done, and you know, you can alter plans around a little bit if need be, you know, but always just go with each day with a thankful heart, because that really starts off your day well. It just gets you into God's perspective. It gets you with a thankful, grateful heart. And if you don't, and if you're not having a good day, or if you're going through something, like I said, you know, just take a moment, step back from whatever you're doing, and just look around. Look around at all of God's wonderful, wonderful creation, and take that time, take that quiet time with Him, because He likes to talk to, you know, and He wants you to give Him your attention. So that's the times that He'll talk to you, is when, or you can listen better, right? When you are quiet and you're in a quiet space, to be able to hear His voice. So, all right, well, I'm just going to get a couple more flowers, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some more flowers. We're just about done here with this wishing well. Like I said, I probably am good. Look how much beautiful flowers are going to be growing here. And it's going to look so beautiful when it starts spreading out. I will definitely do update videos throughout the season to show you all how nice they spread out and how great they grow and how beautiful God's creation turns out. It starts off little, and it grows, and it turns out to be so wonderful in this wonderful dirt that He made as well. He made the dirt for them to grow in. We cultivate it, we work it to make that root grow the best it can grow, right? We water it, we take care of it, we get the weeds out if need be. Gratefully with this, there's not going to be many weeds because it's above the ground, so it's not going to be too hard. But that soil is like our hearts, right? That's what our job is. It is to work up our hearts and other people's hearts. That's our part of our job. To help build God's kingdom is we help prepare hearts, right? By being loving and nice and caring and sharing and forgiving and gracious to people. We can do all those wonderful things, helpful. Don't forget about, you know, the needy and the people who are not as great as, you know, blessed as you may be for whatever the reason. You know, don't forget about them. And if you can spread that love, spread God's type of love, that helps, and it helps prepare people's hearts to receive Him when the day that, you know, that they get to choose to follow Him, which is what He wants, right? So it's just like with dirt, and just like with gardening and planting. Jesus talks about that a lot in the Bible too, right? About the seeds being sown and things like that. And so, yeah, so that's what I feel like my calling is, definitely to prepare people's hearts, help bring them love and God's love and joy and peace, and sharing our blessings. That's one of my favorite things to do. All the wonderful things God blesses me and my family with, we love to bless other people's themselves and their families with it. You know, all the food that we raise, that's a big thing that we do. The animals, the vegetables, and just the beauty of His creation, right? By sharing you all the flowers that we've planted here on our farm, and showing you all the wonderful things on our farm, right? If you can't visit us because you're too far away, well, we'll show it to you through the videos. So I hope that you enjoy the videos, and please watch the videos because it helps us. Because, you know, the more people, the more you guys watch, the more it helps us to be able to reach more people. And that's all what I'm all about, is reaching the unreachable. That's a good way to say it, right? We're going to reach the unreachable with God's love. Have a blessed day. Bye.